brothers and sisters, I don't know what this world is coming to.
Because the revolution will not be televised.
What's going on, y'all? Welcome back to the channel. I am Jay. This is Jay's Life Out Loud, a channel about nothing, but it's about something. Hopefully I made a video in a couple of weeks, maybe a week and a half. Y'all hear me run my mouth, you know what I'm saying? So I decided to go ahead and I haven't felt like recording at all. I really haven't. Working these two jobs is taking a lot out of me. I get off one job, got an hour in between before I have to be to the next job. For y'all that don't know, my second job, I took a 4-hour cleaning job. That's 4 hours after work. So that's what I do after I get off work. And it's not hard work, but you constantly moving. So if you constantly moving, I mean, you ain't at home sitting down, relaxing. You not, normal routine. When you get off your regular job, you had that commute home, and then you go home, you chill, and you got time to watch movies or whatever, get you some me time in, or time with the family, how's your day, answer all those questions, just chilling. But when you got that second job, you pushing straight through. When you get home, I usually get home around 10:15, something like that. By the time I take my shower, put my lotion on, my body needs time to settle in, you know what I'm saying? So I'll grab me something light to eat. Lately I've been doing the parfaits, Greek yogurt, strawberries, blueberries, and granola, you know the fix. And it's rinse, wash, repeat. The next day you gotta do it all over again. Fridays, I'm usually used to being able to get off, take that shower, kick my shoes off, and just whatever. If me and the wife go out to eat, or whatever. Friday is that day that makes you feel like, okay, the week is over, the weekend is starting, I'm ready to get off work. Now it's like Friday comes, so I'm not getting off to 9:30, 10 o'clock. So, the day Friday usually light. After COVID, a lot of people, when it comes to office buildings, they don't work as much in the office as they used to. So that's a good thing. But yeah, that job. So, I knew when I first started the job that, it was gonna, I know how I get. I get grumpy, short-tempered. I might just snap on you and not mean it, but I try to catch myself before I go in, or catch myself before I'm rude, or, never disrespectful, but, so the first couple of weeks was rough. My body is just now getting kind of used to it, With doing that, I had stopped going to work out in the morning. I was catching maybe a couple of minutes in the morning, and then I started going on my lunch break. My lunch break, we get an hour unpaid, so I got the time. But yeah, it's really been, and a lady, I'm trying to think of her name. That's a shame, because I talk to her almost every other day. when I go to the 7-Eleven, it's a lady that worked there. We got real cool, and we always, joke around when I go in there in the morning. And she was like, "You all right this morning?" I'm like, "Yeah, so the second job got me tired." She was like, she said, I forgot to ask you, why are you taking on a second job? Is something you trying to, do or whatever? And I'm like, yeah, I got my land in Ghana and I'm trying to finish this bill. And that leads me to this point. It's like, if you don't have any goal, I understand that any goal that you want to accomplish, if it costs money, you're going to have to do what you got to do to make it happen, savings or whatever. And, I'm still working on controlling my finances, bad spending habits, credit cards, that type of thing. And I'm trying to work on my weight, trying to get my weight down. I want to lose at least 60 pounds, because at one time I was diagnosed with high blood pressure, and definitely don't want to have that. So I'm trying to change what I eat and how I eat. I've been doing that for those that's been around. But you falter sometimes, you fall behind. And I think when you go off into the different dynamics of life and things that you're trying to do, like, maybe finances, spiritual life, self-life, relationships, children, trying to keep your keep yourself together, all the way around. It's not always going to be easy. It's actually it can be easy, but it's complex because we're human. Flesh want what the flesh want. I mean, sometimes I see a cookie and I just like, man, one cookie ain't gonna hurt. This is that, but and I swear that debit card is the devil. Because it's so easy to pull it out and just swipe, tap, whatever it is. So, it's constant work. I don't have a bank account that has 170,000 in it or nothing like that. I don't get a monthly stipend or anything. So anything that I have to work for it, put it aside, and save. So I have a goal that I'm working on to get to how much I want to save before I start to build back, because I don't want to get in the middle of the build, stop, have to save up again, when I can just save as much to my goal, and then I'll be able to continue and build. But that's what I've been working on, But even when you're working on goals, when you have a wife, significant other, there are things that you still need to that come into play. Y'all still need quality time. Y'all still need to do things. Y'all still need, your spouse, boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever, just as much as they want to treat you like, hey, babe, let's go out, get something to eat, and, get some us time. The same way you want to do the same thing. Hey, babe, come on, we're going to go out tonight. Some people aren't like that. Some people can stay to a certain program for years. Like, I'm trying to save this. I'm not doing nothing else. But, I feel like in my situation, or way I look at marriage, that strains a marriage. Some people would say, oh, you shouldn't be doing this. You're trying to do this. You shouldn't be doing that. Unless you doing my job, unless you coming to work for me every day for both of these jobs, don't tell me what to do with my money. I'm grown. But I'm not wasting a lot of money. Do I waste some? For sure. But a lot of times there's things that need to be done. If you're on your feet, my job is a stand-up job, both of them. So if you're on your feet, you may go through shoes every 3-4 months and need to go buy a pair. I'll go on Nike, find me a pair. Excuse me, $70 gym shoes, and have to, work it out. But other than that, I've just been, trying to evenly distribute time here, do this, money, whatever, and try to get some type of balance. You can't just be off on one side and forget about everything else. So there's definitely a balance. I got to make time to go see my mother, time for the garden, time for the chickens, time for my wife, time for work, time for baby girl, time for, my other 3 oldest, if they need something or they just need to talk. And then definitely time for me. And, you have friends, family, connections you've made, people you want to stay in contact with or you call and check on. It's life. But at times I can feel myself just tired. I say this all the time. A lot of times in life, you have to do what you don't want to do to be able to do what you want to do. And with that said, it's like, I feel like all I do is do what I got to do. And I'm not able to do what I want to do yet. And I'm wondering how long is it going to take till I can get to the point where I can do what I want to do. If it was left up to me, we'd be gone. I'll be in Ghana right now. But, my decision making and the wisdom that I do have is saying it wouldn't be wise to just do that now, and it's complicated. Everybody, is not able to just jump up and leave, And I don't know if it was my wife, I believe it was my wife who was talking on the phone the other day when I was at work, or it was somebody on the video. You watch so many videos, it blends together sometimes. But I believe she was telling me like, you believe that you're behind and you're not. You've accomplished a lot of things that people wish they had, And when you really think about it, if you think about life, you may not be where you want to be, but you ain't where you used to be. And, where you used to be wasn't, you made it through that, You overcame it. You went to the next level. And a lot of times I feel like, I got my land and my acre in Ghana. And when Nuhu sends me the videos, it's a good feeling. It's like replenishing my soul. It's replenishing my energy to keep fighting for what I want. And that's just working and saving, trying to cut down on my spending and all that, and just keep stacking. And I feel like, in some ways, I feel behind. Not because of nobody else, not because I'm watching how somebody else is building or this person got over there after I did and they doing this and no. Because for every person that I see that is already building in Ghana or they're done, I salute them. I'm proud of them. You know, those that are just, you know, they think it's best just to rent and not buy or build. I'm proud of them because you're living a dream that a lot of people would love to do. There's a lot of people that when you drive by, when I drive to work, I see them at the bus stop. And think like, my mother worked for the federal government for years. She retired from them, and she used to get on the bus every day when me and my sister didn't have cars. My mother never learned how to drive, but I never had to see what that was like, having to get on the bus to go to work, get on the bus to come home. And we were talking about it the other day, you know, like working at McDonald's, or you working a job where you only making them, you know, minimum wage, or, you know, and having to deal with the same things and not have a car, not have a way to get around, not being able to stay, let's say, in a better side of town, or where you would rather have, you know, raise your kids, or just a single person. They would rather not be in that neighborhood they in, or that apartment where they got to get up at 5 in the morning to get to a job that don't start till 7. You know, or they have children that they have to walk to school in a neighborhood that's not too, you know, safe. Or so, you know, you count your blessings. I have to count, definitely have to count mine. But it's something about when you want something so bad and you've already got a taste of it, and you know that it suits you. You know that, you know, me speaking of Ghana, I know that it brings me peace. I know that it eases me. I feel good. I love the smells. I love, you know, the tropical feel of it all. I love Cape Coast area, just that relaxation, getting away from the city, being by the water. I love the culture, love seeing my people walking around. I love to see the billboards of us. It's just, you know, for some people can go to Ghana and they can leave Ghana just like they leave Mexico or whatever when they go on a trip, or the Bahamas or whatever, and it doesn't faze them. But others, you go to Ghana, and Ghana grab you like this, and Ghana will have that hold on you. And when it has that hold, it is hard to Ghana got a hold on me, and I got a hold on Ghana, and it's hard for us to let go. Definitely hard for me to let go and, you know, just say, oh, you know, and then only be able to go once a year, you know. It's not like I work a job where I'm working from home. My jobs that I have are hands-on. You have to be there, and you only get 3-4 weeks of vacation, and once that's gone, it's gone. You know, you definitely can't go. You can, but you know, you don't want to go to Ghana for 2-3 days and then turn around, get back on the plane, and fly another 9-10 hours back. You know, no. But that's what's been on my mind, tough, because, you know, I keep saying, you know, I stop saying that. It's been on my mind, tough, because I did the Superman and flew up out of here for real. But I pray that everybody is well, doing good, and keep your head up. If you gotta go, Sometimes you have to sit and rest for a while, then get back at it. Sometimes you have to do something, even the smallest thing, to spoil yourself, to keep your mind and your soul at ease and be able to push through. It's not a race, it's a marathon, you know. And as Nip say, the marathon continues. Love y'all. Peace.